Hello, everybody. Pura Vida. Why Pura Vida? Because I am in Costa Rica. I'm at El Lugar at the place. El Lugar is Spanish for the place. And this is the most amazing, beautiful, phenomenal resort and nature reserve that we have here in Costa Rica. It's so incredible. And, if you've been listening to my podcast or you know me, you would have heard me talk about it before, but every time I come here, it's just so nurturing. There is this app that someone introduced me to called Merlin, Merlin, which is the name of a bird, and it's a bird app, right? Now, here's the funny thing: how many of you guys are interested in animals and birds? You're like, meh. I got really interested in birds when I went to South Africa many years ago. We were going on these safaris, and you're looking for the big five in South Africa out on a safari. You spend a lot of time like looking at the tracks and looking for the big five. And when you see, elephants or, leopards, whatever it is, it's really exciting. But you know what's there constantly are the birds. And they are so phenomenal. And there's so many different species of birds. So this app called Merlin, download it. It's incredible. This morning I was at breakfast at El Lugar, and you click on it and it records, and I did it for like 50 seconds, and there was 10 birds that it recorded just in that moment. Because when you hear the noise and you're like, oh, what is that? So, what? Something just to share with you. Pura Vida. Pura Vida is how people would greet each other in Costa Rica, like that. It's the good life. How's it going? All of it. Everything's Pura Vida. Anyway, I'm having a fabulous time here, and I wanted to take this moment to talk to you about something. I was doing an interview yesterday, and somebody was asking me about risk. And I thought it's a really interesting topic because they didn't specify risk in any certain area. They were just asking me, have I taken risks? Like, and what is it, have I learned from taking risks, etc. So I looked at this and I was like, okay, so if we, oh, hang on. That's right. I've been using Perplexity at the moment. It's pretty interesting to find out some information. I looked at the definition and it says what does taking a risk mean? It's taking a risk means deliberately acting despite uncertainty or potential downsides like loss or failure. It often involves stepping outside of your comfort zone to pursue opportunities that could lead, this is the funny thing, is lead to growth or rewards. It's like, how many of you are not willing to take a risk? Now, if you're actually willing to lose everything, you can have everything, because you no longer have this place where something is significant, where it's meaningful, where you would be absolutely devastated if you lost it. So when I say, what are you not willing to lose? What comes up for you? And I've looked at this for a long time because Gary Douglas, the founder of Access, talks about it all the time. He's like, if you're willing to lose everything, you can have everything. And I looked at it at one point and I went, what am I not willing to lose? And a lot of people go, oh, my kids, my husband, etc. Okay, what if you're willing to lose them? Would you have something different with them? Because when you look at the energy of you're willing to lose everything, it doesn't mean you have to lose everything. But if you're hanging on to something so tight, you literally stop anything else showing up. So what I got to, which was really odd, I went, my house, my home. And I went, that's weird. Why would I be not willing to lose something that's like this bricks and mortar? I could have a home anywhere. And then I started looking at it and I went, oh, it's the aspects of a home that I enjoy. For me, it's the small things like waking up in the morning and having a good coffee machine and being able to make a great coffee. Having your kitchen where you can cook, where you can bake, where you can, have all of your utensils that make life easier. Having a bed that is super comfortable to sleep in, right? Whether it's the sheets, the mattress, etc., all of that. Not having to live out of a suitcase. I travel so much and I'm always living in hotel rooms or Airbnbs. I love it. And the first thing I do is I unpack because I try and create that like home energy. So I realized it wasn't my bricks and mortar that I wasn't willing to lose. I really enjoyed the energy of creating a quote unquote home. which I do in so many different places. Like I said, I'm in Costa Rica at El Lugar at the moment, and I stay in one casita quite often. It's like a home away from home. I absolutely love it. So, what are you unwilling to lose? And where are you not willing to take a risk? So, it also says here the core definition at its essence is taking a risk is choosing an action with an unknown outcome, where negative results are possible, but so are positive gains. The contrast with safe, predictable choices that limit new experiences. Dictionaries describe it as doing something that might cause harm, failure, or loss, such as a bold investment. Okay, so that's taking it on the business side. What I was talking about in this interview yesterday was I've made so many different investments. Like, my father was the same. He was an entrepreneur of magnitude. He was a chartered accountant as his main business. And yet he had all these, side hustles going on of all these different things that he would hear about. I remember there was a picnic table craze, and, we were investing in picnic tables. And then one of his clients had a butcher shop. So we ended up owning, a part of a butcher shop. And there was just all these things that would pop up that he would give it a go. Some of them won out, some of them were great, and some of them didn't. But here's the thing about taking a risk. You don't know what the outcome is going to be. But can I say the one thing you're going to get is awareness. You will gain awareness of what works and what doesn't. So, what comes in with this too? Do you trust yourself? Do you trust yourself enough to make a choice that you can find out how this shows up, what shows up? Like, where are you not willing to take a risk? Is that really the life you want to live? Like, that's a life. I'm talking about living, ladies and gentlemen, and really enjoying it. So let's look at the business and financial side. Like I said, I've invested in things, I've taken risks, I've done all of that. I've lost money. I've lost a lot of money, and I've also gained a lot of money. I've had to shut businesses or projects down, and I've had to open more businesses and projects. Every single choice I've made, I have gained awareness. Here's the interesting piece. When I've made money, you go, yay, money. This is great. Love it. I enjoy it. It's awesome. Like, receive it. Okay, what next? What next? What next? When I've lost money, it's like, okay, there is like this inner strength that you find that you go, okay, I just fell down. I grazed my knees. What am I going to do? Okay, I could just stay on the ground and cry and go, it didn't work. See, I'm a failure. See, I'm proving that, I can't do this, blah, blah, blah. Like, doubt is real. Bullshit. No, I'm going to stand up. I'm going to brush off my knees. Maybe there's a little bit of blood. Put a Band-Aid on it, something, and go, okay, now what else is possible? What did I gain from this choice? And I have learned so much, like so much about all the choices that I've made. I'm 56 years of age. I've been involved in many, many, many different businesses and projects. And like I said, some worked, some didn't. But I was willing to take the risk. I was willing to take the risk and find out what is beyond this. And I love the way it says that there's benefits available when you're willing to make a bold choice. How many bold choices are you not choosing? Mainly because you look around and you go, well, nobody else is. Are you really going to sit there and just wait for everybody else to choose? Just take a moment, wherever you are listening to this podcast right now, walking, jogging, lying in bed, driving a car, wherever you are. What would you like to choose that you're not choosing because you've decided it's taking a risk and you don't know what the outcome is going to be? Just take a moment. Is it with business? Is it with finance? Is it asking somebody else out on a date? Is it traveling? Everything that is times a godzillion when you destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, proverbs, creations, bases, and beyonds. And of course, that's the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement, which you can find out more at theclearingstatement.com. Let's look at traveling for a second. I mean, look at the world. Hello. What are you going to choose? If you actually function from your awareness, it's not about getting it right, okay? It's not about getting it right. It's about choosing. So as you choose, you gain awareness. Okay, so as you choose, you gain awareness, and you're like, all right, yes, this, yes or no. Last year, I've been to Russia quite a few times, and last year I went to Russia, and I was going with a friend and a colleague of mine who lives in Austria. Now, Austria hosted Putin for his birthday, right? So I was Googling, like, is it safe? Just out of curiosity, is it safe to go to Russia as an Australian citizen? And I Googled first an American citizen, and it was like, no, this is, we recommend you don't go there. It could be very harmful, blah, blah, blah. And as an Australian citizen, it said something really random, like people have been known to be, taken aside or captured like randomly. I was like, that's weird. And then I Googled if you're an Austrian citizen. And it was like, Russia welcomes you with open arms. And I went, that's literally because they, celebrated Putin's birthday for him. It's all just a point of view. What are you aware of? And I went to Russia, and it's great. It's like, there's definitely hardship there, and there's the energy of it is very different than it was many years ago. And yet I took the risk and I traveled to Russia. I've got flights coming up. I just booked flights going through, I always fly Emirates going to Europe, going through Dubai. Now I booked that in, I think it was February, and it was then the war began. And it was like, okay, so what do we choose here? We had till the 30th of April that we could cancel our tickets with full refund or keep it. So I just keep looking at it and watching it and asking questions. And I'm like, I get it's fine. I'm going in June, right? Now, it's not trying to make again the right choice. It's like, so let's see what happens in June, okay? But I'm willing to travel because there's something like, like I'm like, I just know nothing's going to happen to me on this plane. I just know that, you know? So willing to take the risk. Now, let's look at sports, movements with your body, etc. Like the other day, I arrived at El Lugar, and my friend said to me, hey, do you want to go paddleboarding? You can go paddleboarding on the river here. And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. I used to own a paddleboard. I love it. Let's do it. A couple of days went by. We were going to do it on the weekend. And I just got this hit that I went, I'm not so sure my body's up for it. Like I was really tired from the classes I'd done in Australia and also all the travel here. And I tapped into my body and I was like, okay, what's going on? And I was like, oh, do you just need to rest? Like, do you just need maybe another few days? So I pinged my friend and I said, hey, when do we actually need to say this? Because I'm not so sure my body wants to go. I was listening to my body. How many times do you actually listen to your body? So we went, okay, let's not go. And you should have seen the night before we were meant to go, it poured of rain, like absolutely torrential rain. The river was like a grade 4 river. It was huge. We couldn't even get across there to see the horses on the other side. Like it was massive. I was like, my body knew, right? It knew. But how often do you do this thing of going, oh, I'll just go, I'll just do this, or I'll never go? Like, what are you saying never to that you could actually have as an adventure? What if you're willing to take the risk and find out what else is possible? I did go whitewater rafting here. I think it was last year. I've been a few times here. And it's a grade 3, 4. We went out with a bunch of friends. I love whitewater rafting. I think it's great. Again, you've got to ask your body. And there's a risk. There's absolutely a risk. And the grade 4 can be quite intense. I had a friend sitting in front of me, and he's quite a big guy. This was a rookie stupid move. He was falling off the boat, and I reached out thinking maybe I can help him to grab him. And of course, he fell in the water, and it was like a dead weight. I just went straight after him, and it happened so quick. And all of a sudden, I'm under the water, and there's the waves are rushing all over me, etc. And I was like, what's going on? Like in my head, I was like, what's going on? Because I can't seem to get a breath. I'm just surrounded by water. I don't seem to be able to find the top. And I let go of my oar and I put my hands up and I was like, oh, I'm underneath the boat. And I was like stuck between a rock and the raft. They didn't know where I was. And one of my friends on the boat was like, they were like, oh, we're stuck on a rock, which they were. But then my friend went, hey, I think we're also stuck on Simone. And so the guy realized and jumped off quickly and like was, shimming his boat. Now he's shimming the raft to move. Everything's moving so fast. He can't like shimmy the boat and help me. It's like, get the boat off me. So as soon as he did, and I realized, but I was underneath the boat, and there was this energy of, I was like, no, I am not dying. I am not drowning on the San Miguel River in Costa Rica, right? I was willing to take the risk, willing to have the adventure. No, that is not happening. As soon as the boat went, and you just, your body just moves so quickly. And all of a sudden I found these rocks so I could like perch up on top of it and just breathe, because there was like, I was getting water in my lungs, etc. And then I also had to swim out of there. Like, and the safety guy's kayak is like telling me what to do. And afterwards he was like, you did so well. You listened to me. You didn't panic. How many of you think you're going to panic when you get into a situation like that, so you just don't choose it? It was great. I don't want to fall off a boat again and go underneath it and have all that happen again, but it was totally fine. I gained so much awareness. And the most awareness I gained from that? No, this is not happening. Again, you find that strength, you find that courage. My awareness and my journey throughout my life is, when I take a risk, you find that courage. You find that inner strength where you just go, yes, I'm doing this, I'm choosing this, or no, that's not happening. Like, whatever that is, when you take that risk, you start to live in a really different way. And that's what I would like to invite all of you to, is to choose something greater, every single day. It's like, what if there were so many more miracles available by what you choose? Like, for me, that was a miracle, right? And I didn't panic. And how many of you think you're going to panic, but you don't panic? Like, I remember going heli skiing. Now, this was actually interesting. In 2015, I had a hysterectomy, and I had a hysterectomy that was like the operation was like a cesarean. Like, they had to cut into my lower, stomach. So it was pretty full on, and it's all your core. And 9 weeks later, I was heli skiing in Colorado. My doctor later was like, "What were you doing?" But I was like, "It was fine." Heli skiing is quite full on. I've been skiing since I was 3, but heli skiing is literally, it's just all powder, and that's it. It's like a different way to ski. So, and it's definitely using your core. We're meant to have like 8 runs or something. I think I did 5, and I was like, okay, I need to tap out, because this was really hard on my body. And I took the risk, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And again, I found that strength with myself and with my body to know what we were capable of, and to choose something different. Because I fell over, and to get up, you need your core, right? And there's nobody there who can help you. They're there to talk to you, watch you, etc., but you are the one that pulls yourself up, right? It's like, in the boat, I was the one who perched myself on the rocks and went, okay, body, let's breathe. Let's handle this. Let's embrace this and choose something different. The same thing with business and finance. You are the one that chooses, and you are the one that chooses the next move. You're the one that commits to something that is going to have something greater show up. So let's look at relationships as well. It's like, when have you actually desired to ask someone out, chat to somebody, anything, and you don't do it? Why don't you take that risk? Have you decided that you're going to be rejected? So here's the way it works. If you decide you're going to be rejected, you will create rejection. Because when you walk into a room, and someone walks into a room, and you're just like, yeah. And it's like, they're totally fine with themselves. They're not sitting in judgment of themselves. They're totally fine with what they're choosing. They're not limiting themselves. They're not judging their choices. They're not trying to justify their choices. They're just choosing. That's one of the most attractive things in the world. That's the person who's just like, hey, want to grab a coffee? Want to grab a drink? You want to go out? Blah, blah, blah. Or just like, hi, my name's Simone, and introduce yourself to somebody. Like, who have you decided you feel uncomfortable talking to? Somebody who has more money than you, somebody who's better looking, somebody who's older, somebody who's younger. Like, what is the point of view you have that keeps you from engaging with people? Take a risk. Talk to a stranger. Talk to a stranger. I did a podcast a little while ago on engagement. It was brilliant. We'll put it in the show notes. It was with 3 friends of mine, and we were talking about, making a phone call to someone, not with an agenda, just making a phone call and just interacting with people. So I started just doing that. Like, even at the supermarket, you walk past someone, you're reaching for the cheese at the same time, have a chat, say hello, acknowledge someone, and look them in the eye. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Oh, do you know what? You might be out of control because you might actually have to receive. How many of you are not willing to take a risk because you would have to receive? So when you are willing to risk losing everything, when you're willing to risk choosing more than what you would choose yesterday, you open the door. You open the door to all that is possible. You open the door to the entirety of the universe. The entirety of the universe. Are you willing to receive all energies? What if you're willing to acknowledge the miracle that you are? And as you take risks, you know that you're going to pivot and choose something different. There's just so much more available for us. So what if today you're willing to take a risk? What if today was the day that you're willing to choose something different? What would you choose? Just take a moment. What would you choose? So if you look at finance, your financial reality, what would you choose? Like, I have some really diversified investments. I have some that are pretty safe, and then I have some that are more high risk. For me, if I invest in anything, I've got to be willing to lose it. That's my gig, because I see people invest in something and they get vested in the outcome. And when you get vested in the outcome, you don't open a door to all these possibilities. You get stressed. It's like you start to doubt, you start to create judgment, limitations, etc. And then you could put that into asking someone out on a date as well. It's the same thing. If you go to ask someone and you get vested in the outcome that they say yes, then when they say no, what are you going to do? Are you going to shut down or go, okay, well, you know what? I gave it a shot. Okay, who next? Like, what next? What if a no is not a bad thing? It's just a moment where you need to pivot and you make a different choice. But if you're spending your whole life just trying to get it right, then you will miss the possibilities that are available. So look at your finances and what risk could you take that could perhaps bring you joy, that could generate more money. And then look at your business. Where are you not willing to take a risk with your business? Could you have more clients? Could you have more possibilities? Like, what if you just chose one thing that's different today with your business? What would you choose? What would that be? And whatever pops, what if you just chose it? Now look at your body. What are you not willing to choose with your body? I have a friend of mine here in Costa Rica, and known her for a really long time. And I was in the pool swimming here. I was talking to somebody else about going horse riding. And I was like, hey, do you want to go? And they were nervous to go on a horse ride. They said, do you want to go? And I said, I'll go with you. We can just go on a really small ride up the top here. We can walk. It doesn't have to be long. It's up to you. If you want to go, I'll take you. I'll get the cowboys and me can take you. And then she was like, okay. And then this other friend went, I'll go. And she was like, had this energy of being a bit scared of horses. Now, after that ride, she ended up buying that horse. Now she rides all the time. Her whole body shape has changed completely. And she's been having these horse lessons and, running on her horse and riding other horses and having the joy of her living. She's been having the joy of her living because she was willing to take that risk and ride the horse. Okay. Now, I'm not saying you all have to go ride horses, but just tap into the energy of you and your body. What are you not choosing because you've decided you can't? What if that's not correct? What if it's just about taking a risk and living an adventure? What would you choose? Maybe it's going hiking. Maybe it's, studying a martial arts. Martial arts are amazing. I love martial arts. I studied Shotokan karate for years. And now at home, I would be boxing and doing different things. There's so much beauty in martial arts. I love it. Pilates, yoga, a sport. What would your body like to choose? Lifting weights, anything. What if you just chose something different? And as I'm talking about this, if any of these, your body goes, that, choose it. It's the worst thing that happens. You hate it and you don't do it anymore. But you might find out you enjoy it. And I wonder who else you could meet there too. Old school engagement. Take that risk. Okay? Take that risk. So you've got, and then relationships, dates, sex, all of it. I mean, how many of us just hold back instead of just going, hey, you know what? I wouldn't mind spending some time with you. Do you want to grab a drink or go out to dinner or have coffee or get breakfast or go for a walk? You want to come for a hike? You want to go for a horse ride? And just get to know somebody. What if we were willing to take more risks with people? Who would you meet? I mean, it's amazing to me how many people in the world have the point of view that they are lonely. Just tap into the energy of the whole entire, like right now, okay, let's do something. So you've got your amazing, beautiful body here. If you can, just put your hands on your body somewhere, your face somewhere, and just be like, hi, body. Oh my goodness. How did I get so lucky to be with you, body? I'm so sorry I've been judging you. Yeah. So you're really present with your body. And now I want you, the being, to expand out. Okay? Because you are not inside your body. You are huge. You are an infinite being. You are everywhere. And if you're like, Simone, what do you mean by that? Well, where are you right now? I'm in Costa Rica. By the time you listen to this, I think I still be in Costa Rica. Tap into the energy here. You don't need to be here in order to receive from it. Now, as you expand out across the entirety of the planet, and if you can't do the planet, just do a few meters, a couple of 100 feet. What are you aware of? Wherever you're listening to this, go outside that room, outside that car. What are you aware of out there? Yeah. Notice there's more of a sense of peace. And as you expand out and you become really aware of the mountains, the lakes, the earth, the animals, and then reach up to the planets, the stars, the whole entire universe. And what are you aware of? Now, are you actually alone? Or is there so much going on and you create being alone because of your point of view and your judgments that you make more significant, meaningful, and relevant than the choice that is available for you to choose to be in total communion with the entirety of the universe? You are not alone. You just need to go outside and listen to the birds. Put your feet on the grass. The earth is there. And now, what would it take to engage with others? Tap someone on the shoulder. Hi, my name's Simone. What if we function more like little kids? You know when little kids see each other and they're just like, hi, you want to play? It doesn't matter how much money you have in your bank account or the color of your skin or what your name is, none of that. What if you took that risk and you started introducing yourself to more people? Would you have more friends? Would you have more people around you? Would you have more clients? Would you have more possibilities? Would you have more adventures? So what if you're willing to just take that risk? What's the worst thing that can happen? And that is a tool I actually use. What is the worst thing that can happen? There was one business I opened in 2020 when everyone was like, what the hell's going on? And it was a retail shop. And I sat outside on this bench and I looked at this shop. It was a great position. And I looked at this shop and I went, okay, if I do this, what's the worst thing that can happen? Okay, we lose money and it's a tax deduction. Okay, I can handle that. Like, it's a good tool to go, what's the worst thing that can happen? Can you handle that? I say, yes, you can. You can literally handle anything. I know you can. We can. We can. And what if you're also willing to ask for help? Be brave enough to ask others for help. You do not have to do this all alone. What if that creating an autonomous reality, like when you see someone who's like works autonomously so that they can do everything on their own, what if that's a lie? What if that's not what we're meant to be choosing? What if we're meant to be receiving more? You take that risk, will you receive more? I get yes. So enjoy taking a risk. What else is possible? What else can you ask for? What else can you receive? How much fun can you have? How much ease, joy, and glory can you invite into your life? All of that and more. What if you woke up tomorrow and you just went, God damn it, how did I get so lucky? I get to wake up and I get to be me and take a risk. Find out what else is possible. So thank you for being here with me. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for you. Thank you for you. And I would love it if you're listening to this and you've been listening to my podcast, if you could leave a review on any of the platforms that you listen on. I would be so grateful. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would be amazing too. And if you haven't checked out my YouTube channel, I have lots of sessions on there that are like 8-10 hours of to do with like energy pools, with money, business, magic, etc. They're really cool. If you can't sleep at night, put one of them on and see if it contributes, and see if you wake up tomorrow a different being. You wake up having and being more of you, okay? Because that's the whole purpose of this. Be more of you, okay? You are a gift. You are a miracle. Start acknowledging it. Cool. Thank you so much, everybody. Mwah.